So their family, they're doing the business in this marketplace. Okay, they've been doing it now for about 1.5 years. What I'd like to do is I'm just going to have them share a little bit about kind of what motivated them to get into business. I told you guys a little bit. So I was a contractor. Okay, he told me 6 months ago. Was that what it was? You said you stopped doing this last project?
Yes, about 6 months ago.
About 6 months ago, so now he's doing it full time, which is pretty cool. Made the transition. But one thing I say, I got to give credit where credit is due. Is that important? Yep. I met you at a training. I don't know, and was it in Dallas?
Yeah, the first time.
I know it was a little while ago, and I will say they've done a great job of being students, of reaching out, of being curious. They're always, asking questions. They're using the resources, and I think this is a great example of what it takes to be successful. Is not always having the answer, but going about to get what? The answer. And they've done a great job of always learning and always growing and not taking mistakes and slowing them down, but building off them and keeping them move forward. And so it's a great example of that. So I just want to kind of give credit where credit's due because I've seen a lot of growth with you guys in the last 1.5 years. And I was telling them I'm on your wholesale list and stuff like that. I haven't seen the buyers list. I know you work a little bit with our team about putting that together and stuff. So what I want to do is just share your story, your background. Why? Because they were in a room like this 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
3-day Insider Summit just like this, and now they're doing what they're doing. So, what motivated you to go from that seat to where you are now? What was the big deal?
Yes, I had my own business for the past 11, 12 years as a general contractor here in Columbus. I had my license, everything, and I was pretty much I didn't know, but I was a technician. I was always doing the job. I had like 3 guys, I used to subcontract some crews, but I was always there. And I always thought, okay, if I'm not there, the job is not gonna get done right. For me, it was like a life-changing, and when I came here, I just believed it. I just swallowed it, and I was like, okay, this is what I need to go from here to there. They taught me something really important, how to stop working in my business and have my business working for me. It was like the main thing.
How long have you been here right now today? Today in this room, how long have you been here?
15 minutes, 10 minutes? 10 minutes spoken.
You know what I love? But this is what I love. And I don't know if you guys pick up on it, but I'm always proud, and this is something that's really cool. And this is why I can tell they're great students. How many of you in this room can hear the way that he talks as being very similar to the way that I talk? Show of hands. You know what the best advice I get, or the best recommendation or praise I get, when someone goes to the wholesaling boot camp, they go, Ralph, the way you think about money, the way you basically teach and talk a lot of the same ways Dan does. That's one of the biggest compliments I can get, and I can tell you're following the training because you're just cool, man.
I am a wannabe. I want to be like that. Yes, I want to be like him. When I see these guys talking the way they talk, I was sitting there. I remember in this event, I was kind of scared to go and say hi to the speaker. It was Cole Hatter at that time.
Cole, he's a good friend.
Great guy. But I was kind of scared, like, okay, is he going to say hi to me? But on this program, they teach me how to build my business. I have an S corporation, and they teach me how to be confident, how to network, how to talk to the people, how to present myself, how to make if I go to a realtor's office, how to expose my business, how to show everything is a win-win situation, and that's the basis for us. When I can get people what they want, that's when I get what I want in my business. So we kind of apply all that all the time, and I tell everybody, fortune builders, yes, what they say is true. And actually, I said all the time, I get more than I was expecting, the day that I sign up, because it's lifestyle, pretty much. It's amazing. It's much more than, when I start, what I'm getting is much more than what I was signing up for. So
how many guys see the mindset right here? Show of hands. And what's interesting is when he sat down in the interview, I can assure you that what they were looking for is what he had, whether he knew it or not at the time. And how many of you are seeing what we call a growth mindset? Show of hands. It's a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. They can't help fixed mindset. They can't help, hey, things are the way they are, that's how they're going to be. Okay? I'll give you a great book, by the way. It's called Mindset. by Carol Dweck. It's required reading as a master's student.
Excellent. Yes.
It's required reading, not optional, required. And it talks about the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A lot of people have asked me, what are they looking for from a master's student in those interviews? Bottom line is, in my opinion, to simplify it, they need a fixed they need a growth mindset. They can't do anything with a fixed mindset. Doesn't matter who you are or what you can someone that's willing to grow. So my 2 cents on that, man. And I already kind of bragged about this, man.
Okay.
I already bragged about this.
No, another step that we took is my wife. She used to work in the Columbus School District. And last summer, a year ago, I told her, you know what, you need to come up with me. I mean, I need you in my business. And she quit her job, and we used to have the health insurance and everything, and it was something that we believed that we could do it. And I mean, we're on the right way to make it. So,
what do you got going on next week?
We have one house that we sold that we're signing. Is the closing for that property, and we're buying one more that same day. 2 more. I didn't tell you that. The property that we put under contract for a rehab, I mean, I wanted that house for rehab. So we had no idea who owned that house, but we researched and we found the owner, and we went to their business to say, hey, we want to buy your house. It was just like that. And we start talking to them, and they say, okay, if you want to buy my house, you have to buy another one that I have somewhere else, because you have to buy both.
So you're telling me I have to get 2 deals?
Yes. So I say, okay, and the other deal, it wasn't like, it's not going to be a rehab for me, it's a rental property in South Columbus. But then, we put the offer, and it's going to be a passive income. We're going to keep it. It's we're paying $25,000 for that one, and it's $700 rent, and actually, I'm not putting my money. I'm financing everything with a private money lender for 2 years. I already have 4 rental units, and the idea is to get some experience there and refinance with the bank in 6 months, 1 year, whenever. But I'm not putting money down.
So I'd rather put no money down, finance at a long-term, low-cost debt, and create wealth instead of pass off wealth.
Exactly.
How many of you guys heard that stuff this morning? Show of hands. Okay, following the process. Okay, and like at the end of the day, I gave credit before they even talked about these guys follow the process. That's why their growth curve is where it is. How many of you are seeing bigger growth out of that moving forward? I'm seeing it. Okay, it's gonna continue. You guys keep going down the path you're in. This guy's up next.
Yes,
what grade are you? You're going into freshman?
Yeah, I'm going to be a freshman.
Are you excited about it in a couple weeks?
Yes, I am.
Where are you going?
Going to Baltimore to a future fortune worker teen boot camp.
Cool, man. Give a round of applause. That's what this guy's doing on his summer vacation. I know, he's like, at the end of the day, I'm sure, you're 14, like, how many of you in this room, and I know it's tough for you now, like, you're 14, when I was 14, and like a lot of people at 14, we thought we all had to figure it out. Right? And it's interesting. You're lucky to have parents like this. I'm telling you that right now, man. Because how many of you in this room wish when you were 14, you went to an event with Fanny's team about financial literacy? Show of hands. That's an opportunity that I'm telling you right now, I didn't have. And you're blessed that your parents put that position for you. Leverage it, which I know you will. Awesome. Awesome. Give me 2 claps. Very cool. And so what I want to do is, I want to talk through a couple of deals. Is that cool?
Yeah.
I fired a couple up. Brian, you want to keep me down for a second? Keep me down. I gotta get to my computer here. One thing actually I wanted to show first, which was pretty awesome. Here's an example of, this is them, and Esteban sent me these pictures and he put this together. What is going on here?
You get to get really close to them.
Look at that selfie right there.
You see them talking to you.
That's pretty
on
fun.
the stage.
And actually, Ralph,
Yeah.
you were my photographer.
I did take a couple
Exactly.
That is true. I was walking around the training, because I go to the trainings, folks. I go to the advanced training, sharpen my axe, be around the guys, be around students like this. How many of you guys think that makes sense? Show of hands. And I remember when you guys were like, hey, who are you? Were you my photographer? I'm like, sure.
First guy to show up.
So I was a photographer, that's all I meant.
But it was funny because it was 2 times in a row. First with them and then with JD.
So here's an example of them with Who you have here? They're standing in the middle. There's JD right there, and there's Paul right there. And you know what a lot of students do too is they use these in their credibility packets. Because now when they talk about, say, hey, we do that the way they do it, and then just put those in credibility packets to build credibility. What else do we have?
It's you.
Oh, there's Andy. Oh, there's my mug right there. Conrad. Conrad, a lot of people don't know Conrad. Conrad is actually the brains behind a lot of the core systems. He is the guy I was telling you about that immigrated here from Poland when he was 14. Krakow, Poland. He's a behind-the-scenes guy, brilliant guy. I mean, just an awesome individual. And here's an example of at the rehab bus store going through some student deals with JP as well. Okay. Here's Bob with some other things. Bob's a team member of mine at Mind Protein, having lunch with Dan and some team members with some bandit signs.
Yeah, that's my 2 kids.
Oh, it's your 2 kids right there. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Outsourcing the model. So that's pretty cool. Some live action shots right there. All right, Brian, you want to pull me down real quick? I'll show you guys some deals these guys are walking through. Very cool. Am I frozen there? Okay, here's a project. Tell us a little bit about this one here.
Yes, actually that was the first house that we bought. It was a lady, her husband passed, and he was fixing the house, but she never finished it. She had, a corporate job, and she didn't want to do anything with that property. So, I got in touch with her through Bacon Mail. We send about 1,000 letters a month. We know how to access vacant lease, probate lease, divorce, everything, you name it. And,
marketing systems.
Yes, and so we put it under contract. I have to say, it wasn't like the big profit that we kind of, expected, but it was a really big learning experience. I mean, we bought it for $26,500, put $12,000. It took us not too long, like 4 to 5 weeks to get it done. But we end up, selling it and making $16,000.
A tick under 17 G's on your first deal.
Yes.
Okay. How many guys think that's okay? Show of hands. In the game, off and running, right? In the game. Now, is every deal going to be a home run? No, every deal's not going to be a home run. There's home runs, but what we do is we swing for singles and doubles consistently. That's our goal. Like, we want to be swinging for singles and doubles, churning them out, and then when that home run comes along, boom, knock it out of the park. Even that deal you guys are putting under contract, 2 of them, where you got a rehab deal and you got a ridiculous cash flow deal right there. I mean, that's a solid deal right there, that package. So if you're in the game, you're working it. So very cool.
No, and every time you learn, you learn a lot. And you, on the second deal, much more experience. Third one, every time you feel that you grow and you get confidence, and the negotiation when you go and put an offer, every time is better.
Just building on it, man. Beautiful.
Yes.
Staged. Here's another one right here.
Yeah, this is a property that we acquired last August. We bought this property. This is in Broad.
Oh, this is the one I talked about a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, I already talked about this one.
Yes.
Perfect.
But the last one that we have on that one, after this one, it was a property that we got in Canal Winchester. We bought it for $50,000. Now, before, and that was something that we learned after experience.
That's
before,
Winchester, Ohio, right?
Canal Winchester.
I call it Winchester.
Okay.
I go, they got this deal in Winchester, Ohio, and someone's like, it's Canal Winchester. Yes, sorry.
No, but this was great because on this one, I put my offer for $50,000, and the guy was, okay, yes, I'll sell it to you. But before we closed, I went with, we found a realtor in the area. Because we try to work with the best people in different areas. We don't marry just one realtor. So we found a realtor who sold these kind of properties in Canal Winchester. We took him there and we asked him, okay, what is selling here? If you need to sell this house, what do you need to be on this house? He told us everything. No granite countertops, finish the basement this way, don't go too crazy, this, that. We did exactly, okay, so we signed. And he was like, we just met him. He was like, okay. And I told him, okay, I'm going to sign and I'm going to give you that house back in 3 weeks. Before we close, I went with one of my contractors and told him, okay, you need to do this, exactly like this. I gave him all the scope of work. And the day we closed on this one, I had to travel back to Colombia, where we are originally from. So I left everything with the title agency, everything ready to close. I didn't have to be there. The money was coming from a private lender. Everything was done to close.
So you bought a house while you were in Colombia?
On the plane. Yeah, it was fine. I wasn't there yet, but yeah.
Sorry.
No, but when I landed, I kind of checked everything. Everything was just fine. So
I think that's pretty awesome right there. So, talk about lifestyle by design. I will say this, I have a cool story like that. Not on the plane though, but I closed the deal when I was in Zermatt, Switzerland at the Matterhorn. I don't know if anyone knows where that is in Switzerland, but like literally I closed the deal in Switzerland. They're closing the deal on your way to Colombia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't say it the same way you do. But.
And the contractor was ready to start the next day. He started the next day. I came from Colombia. Then, like 3 days later, we went to a training in Vegas, negotiation training. Andy Tanner and Dan Merrill. The project kept going. We came back. It was pretty much ready for us. They gave it to me, the contractor. I gave it to my wife to do the realtor part. I was away from that. And, we put it on the market on Saturday. Sunday we had 3 showings. We were asking 117.
3 offers?
3 offers. Yes, 3 showings and 3 offers. We were asking 117,500 and we sold it. We put it under contract for 120. We're closing on this one this coming week, and it's it took 3 weeks to do it. My time there was minimum, and it's 30,000 plus that we're making on that one. Probably.
How many of you remember me when I talked about the last deal I did? How many of you remember me quoting the amount of time I put in that deal? Show of hands. We're always talking about how little of our own time and money can we put into a deal to get what we want out. That's what entrepreneurs and systems do. We want to pull ourselves out of it, right? Have the business create that, not just us create it. Look, can a technician make money? Of course they can. You can go make money, go do all the work yourself, but it's going to be a very different deal, right? It's a very different deal, and these guys are off and running on their stuff. So, any last words for you guys? I don't want to keep you. You guys got stuff you need to do. You have friends in town.
Oh, thank you for having us here, and it's our pleasure just to be here and share what we're doing here in Columbus.
Yeah, very cool. And give credit where credit is due with these guys. And one thing I do say is, and this is something I ask of everyone in this room, I do ask, these guys have done what it takes. They sat in a seat just like you guys a year and a half ago, and now have built it in a way that's pretty awesome. And, I don't know if you planned on being on stage one day, but,
I want to be.
Yeah, you are. And it's a journey, and it's cool to share. How many think it's cool that he said that he wasn't that confident when he was sitting in the 3-day? How many of you guys remember that? Show of hands. You guys see a confident team right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that is, the more educated you get, the more you surround yourself, and, I'll ask you guys, are Dan, Paul, and JD, are they untouchable or regular dudes?
Regular dudes.
They're just regular people that enjoy being around growth mindset people. One of the reasons why they started Fortune Builders is because they all played sports and they loved being on teams, and they realized that when they were just doing it by themselves, there wasn't like a team environment, and they loved like the team environment and supporting each other and pushing each other, and it's a pretty awesome deal. One thing I do ask is they took the time away from their businesses and their family to be here to share kind of an example and some case studies and things that they're doing. One thing I do ask is be respectful. I think for them, they have their business to run. They have their awesome family and their friends and the things that they're doing in their lives. I do ask out of respect for them that, look, try not to chase them down. I mean, they're nice people. I'm saying they probably wouldn't say this themselves, but I'm saying it for them because at the end of the day, they can't be everything to everybody. Is that true? Yeah. Right? And if 200 people go and track them down and try to at the end of the day, their job is to run their business and provide for their family and enjoy their family. And so, just be appreciative of that, and I ask that you be respectful of them in their privacy. That's all. That's just my 2 cents on that. So
I want to share something.
I just want to say something because this is very important for all of the women that are out there. So that you're gonna be okay. You don't need to have a real estate experience, construction experience, nothing. You are gonna get everything that you're gonna need to succeed. So just be brave and go ahead and do it.
And I will say, women, you're gonna find this funny. When women can talk the talk and have that education, believe it or not, they can be a lot more powerful than like a man in negotiations. It's so true. And you know, people
We
sometimes.
got the power.
It's true. It's true.
This is something for me that is very, like with my accent, and I'm always like, oh, how am I gonna speak? I'm dying, and I just try to put that in my side. So people is gonna always remember me. Every time that I call, they recognize me. They say, oh, hi Erica, how are you? You know what I mean?
Turn what you would used to consider a negative into a positive.
Exactly.
Growth mindset right there.
So, you know what, guys? Just go ahead and jump.
Some of our most successful students are women that are doing it literally with no partners.
Very
Jenna, Marina, okay, we have Amy, okay, who's in Chicago on House Hunters renovation. Like some of our most successful students are young, old, male, women. None of it matters. Just people that have a growth mindset. Very cool. Give them one last huge round of applause. Awesome. And you know what? I already broke this thing out. Check out this puppy. Look at this thing. I already pulled this thing out. You're rocking this thing. Look at this thing. Boom. Got my little guy's name right. Harrison right there. Check this puppy out. I already showed it to my wife. Look at this thing. I love it. So nice. I appreciate that. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Oh, yeah. That's your flash drive. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be some info on that. A lot of deals, some info on that. Very cool. So, that was a special treat that you guys were able to experience, hearing from some local students in the marketplace, what they are. Now,